Good morning. Okay, so I don't really know where to start, but I've just got back from holiday and I have literally just jumped out the shower and I forced myself straight into this. Um, Firstly, because I promised my boyfriend that I would start a video and start using YouTube. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this straight away because if I don't do it, I literally will not do it. So I've actually forced myself straight into this. As you can see, wet hair. I haven't even brushed it. I actually just took out the towel and was like, just do it, get on with it, because otherwise I really won't do this. But there was definitely time that I start using YouTube and actually start talking to you guys and being vulnerable and open. So firstly, I want to say thanks to like everyone who supported me over like the last couple of years, even though I have been really shit and I have hardly used social media. I've like literally used it just for pictures and not been beneficial at all. So I'm hoping that I can actually be a benefit to people. Even if I help one person, right? It's important. So I wanted to speak on kind of why I came away from social media so much. As a lot of you know, I went through a breakup and that kind of like I just was a bit kind of like away, and I obviously was just dealing with my own stuff. That passed, and that's obviously completely in the past. But I definitely think that it's something that had affected me and how I was with social media, because I was doing a lot of videos before that. I don't know if a lot of you remember. More stories, more talking on stories than anything. But yeah, I was kind of like doing a lot more than I am now. And then secondly, I think that, well, I know that a massive part of why I'm so kind of away from using social media and anxious is because I had a really traumatic time last year, year before. Wow, where does time go? That's crazy. And sadly, my granddad passed away, but it wasn't just my granddad passing away, and I know obviously it's life, everybody deals with those things and experiences it, but this was really traumatic. There was nothing wrong with him. He was living with me living with my mum, and obviously I would come home from London to see them. And when I got home one evening, we watched Love Island together, and his last actual words to me was, "I'm going to my pit, I'm not watching this bollocks." And he literally was like, "Good night," and went to bed. And then the next morning we had planned like a day out, because obviously I didn't come home that often. We planned a day out with my family to the beach, and like I was really looking forward to it. The weather was amazing. Anyway, I came downstairs and my mum literally screamed at the top of her voice. I was like, what on earth? So I came running down the stairs, and obviously you can imagine what she said and what the situation was. And obviously we kind of found them together, and we had to deal with that. And when it's someone you love, like I've always kind of dreaded seeing a dead body anyway, but when it's someone you love, like it's just so different. And I know this is really crazy, but I honestly feel so grateful that he kind of allowed me to, a few of my mum to find him, allowed me kind of that opportunity to be there to experience the fact that he is at peace and his body has obviously been left at peace and his soul has gone to the next place. And it was kind of quite, it's like, so it's so surreal. And even now, like I remind myself of it in a positive way. Like he wanted us to find, do you know what I mean? Like he wanted us to find him, knowing that he wasn't in pain for long, because obviously it'd been a matter of hours, etc. It wasn't like he, you know, some people sadly go through cancer and have like a really horrific time, and that's just really just as heartbreaking. But the fact that I know he wasn't in pain for long just gives me peace of mind. So that happened, and now I feel strong enough to talk about it, to the point that obviously I don't cry. Like, obviously I cry about it, but I can talk to you guys and let you know, like, that's kind of why I came away from social media, and didn't really post, and just wasn't really beneficial to anybody. I was just quite irritating, like just posting pictures and living in my own little bubble, I think. So once that happened, since it, like, actually my life has completely changed, and I honestly believe that my granddad is a massive, massive part of it. Like, he's a massive part of why my life is in a good place and why things are getting better. But that doesn't mean that I'm not dealing with stuff still. Like, I still have really, like, really severe anxiety, even to the point that on holiday with my boyfriend, about 2 weeks ago, he was asleep next to me, and we always sleep with, it's cute, we always sleep with like our arms around each other. He always has his arm here, and I always put my hand on his chest, and I have my hand on his chest, and I remember like being half asleep, but I woke up and I was like, he was freezing, absolutely freezing, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, is he alive? Is he breathing? And I started to shake him, babe, 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 wake up. And I was like really like in a state trying to wake him up, and he woke up and was like, what the hell, what are you doing, what's going on? And I was like, oh my god, you're alive. And this is something that happens a lot. Like, even if it's like a phone call, I have to call someone if they don't answer their phone more than like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, oh my god, what if they're dead? And like every time someone drives somewhere or goes somewhere, I'm like, oh my god, what about if this is happening? What about if that's happening? And it's like constantly something that's like playing on my mind and really eating away at my stomach. Like, yesterday, before I flew back from holiday, on my way to the airport, in the car, I was like really uptight and like really stressing out about like what was going to go wrong. And like, nothing will, like, my boyfriend's actually really good at like helping me kind of understand, but obviously I don't really share this with many people. Like, I've been honest with him and told him, you know, how I feel and stuff, but it's not really something I share with people. Like, I've had a lot of therapy and stuff, and that's been really helpful. I've been having it for about 6 years now, and that's been like absolutely amazing. It was a lady called Hannah. I'm gonna try and find her privately so I can share it with you guys in case anybody does want to use her. I went through the NHS. The list, like waiting list, is about 9 months. It's crazy, but I waited 9 months, and both times I waited 9 months, and they were about 2 years apart. And then I obviously had the therapy, and the first lady was great, but I don't feel, sorry, the first lady was called Hannah and the second lady was called Anna. And I don't feel like the first lady was very beneficial at all. She sort of dug deep and opened up a can of worms of my problems, and then never really made me understand but why and how to deal with it. Whereas the second therapist was amazing. Like, she sort of taught me techniques and things that I can do, and like places that put me back in a happy place, which I'm sure a lot of you will be able to see through social media, that I've been kind of choosing to put myself in a really happy place to make sure that I feel the best version of myself, and not in a cliche way, but in a serious, like, you have one life and you actually have a choice of where you want to be, etc. with that. And yeah, for me, it's like, okay, so I want to wake up this morning, I want to be happy. Like, right now, I'm like, right, I want to wake up today and I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do. And that's exactly why I'm doing this now. Because I told myself, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And that's that. Like, there's no excuses. There's no reasons why I wouldn't do it. I just need to get on and do it. And the same thing stands with like everyday life, I think. Especially now, going into a second lockdown. Bullshit. Absolute rubbish. It's just, anyway, let's not, because that is a negative, and we need to use this time to be, I know obviously some people are luckier than others, but we definitely need to use this time to be like positive and uplifting, and I hope that me doing this can kind of help somebody else. And I'm gonna be continuing to do videos, whether it's on even just like purchasing clothes, things that I'm doing in my house, stuff like that. I'm gonna be doing a lot more to kind of be open and honest with you guys and hopefully benefit people. But yeah, I feel like during this time we all definitely need to not be productive. I don't mean that in any way, but choose something that makes you, who cares, like who cares what you should or shouldn't be doing, whether you should be working. So what, your job, I know your job pays your bills, don't get me wrong, but your job is not the be all and end all. Like, get what you need to get done, but take an hour out of that day and do something for yourself, whether it's reading a book, whether it's, I don't know, watching something on YouTube, which I love watching. I've got like a few favourite pastors that I love watching, and when I feel a little bit like, oh, sorry, that's my dog. She's doing some madness over there. It's actually my sister's dog. Eddie, come here. Come see her. See if she'll come. She's a little chihuahua. She's quite annoying. She's actually really irritating, but she's cute sometimes. Bless her. Yeah, so I feel like during this time you need to kind of give yourself time and not worry about anyone else. Oh, one of my dogs is coming to see us. Come on. Up, up. Come on. No, she just wants me to stroke her, yeah. Yeah, so hopefully like I can do some things that are gonna benefit you guys and bring some positivity to social media, and hopefully make people kind of feel like uplifted, and also just ideas, I guess, maybe some ideas, even if it's outfits, even if it's house interior, or just speaking on like my own experiences. But I just thought this would be a start, and I did promise my boyfriend that I would do it, so hopefully he's happy that I've actually obviously I'm really grateful, by the way, guys, because it's so important to have someone who is like pushing you to be the best version of yourself and do things like that you're actually capable of doing but maybe you're scared of. And obviously this, I was so scared, like I felt so vulnerable, and I was like, no, I can't do this. I filmed this actually, guys, last year for like 2 hours. I filmed and I was like, right, I'm gonna post it, I'm gonna do it. No. Did I post it? No. So this time I'm actually gonna do it. I'm actually gonna post it. I'm not gonna do any edits or anything. I'm just actually gonna post it, be myself, and yeah, hopefully you guys will all be very supportive. But also I wanted to quickly say, I feel like this has definitely helped me as well. So I've been reading a book called Brave New Girl, and I would 1,000,000% say that you girls need to invest in this book. It's this one here. Can you see? It's literally like amazing. It's the best-selling author of Anxiety Solutions, which obviously right now is what I needed, because I have so much anxiety. Like, even talking now, I'm like, my stomach is in like this, and I'm like, well, why am I like this? Like, what do I honestly have to worry about right now? I'm talking on camera and no one is here, no one's judging me. What do I have to worry about? But obviously I do feel anxious, and a lot of people obviously do feel anxious, especially not knowing what we're doing and what's going on. So hopefully this book will be purchased by a lot of you and read, and I'll get lots of feedback on it. But yeah, so I'm gonna I just feel like I'm talking quite a lot now I'm brave. I'm gonna start filming some stuff, so maybe if there's anything that you guys, I'm gonna put out a little question and answer this evening after this is posted, and any questions that you actually have, like genuine questions, because it is so difficult to sit on a camera and like talk to yourself. it's really hard to like have a conversation with yourself. You're like, well, what do people want to know? Because you don't actually know. So for that reason, I'm going to put a question and answer out tonight, and hope that a lot of you will give me some topics to talk on. And I honestly, now I'm going to be really open and honest. I'll talk about anything you want to talk about. So let's do it. Love you all. Thanks for listening, and subscribe to my YouTube at Faya. I'll put the link in my bio, and yeah, feel free to share my video.